Fulshear, Texas has been growing like crazy, and today we are in one of the most affordable, with the lowest property taxes and with some of the lowest interest rates that you can have in today's market. Today we are in Tamarron West. Is an extension of the original Tamarron out in Katy. We are in Fulshear, Texas, as I mentioned before, and we are checking out some of the inventory options that DR Horton has to offer. Today we're going to go over property taxes, we're going to go over schools, we're going to go over the entry-level prices and the type of products that you can get out here in Tamarron West. If that sounds good, stay tuned. So who is this community for? This community is for, first and foremost, is going to be for your first-time home buyers. There's going to be a certain level of affordability that you can just get out here that you're not going to be able to get in other places. We have homes that are going to be starting around that like low 300s, and with some of the deals and incentives and the relationship that I've built with Carl over there in the sales center, I know we can probably get some of these into the 200s. That's how low the prices are over here in what is known as the safest suburb of Houston. So this is first and foremost going to be a safe investment for those of you that are first-time home buyers that need some incentives, that need the closing cost incentives and all those things as well, and an entry-level price point. Secondly, I think this is going to be for a type of person that wants a fairly big community. All together with the original Tamarron, this is like 4,000 acres, which makes this bigger than, for example, where I live in Meridiana. When you compare the original OG Tamarron with this extension of Tamarron West, making it one of the biggest master plan communities in all of Houston. You're going to have your amenity center and all the things, walking trails, lakes, all the things that you care about. You're going to have that here. Splash pads, soccer fields, all the intramural things that you're going to need. You're going to have that here because this is a big community, and this isn't your standard kind of like run-of-the-mill DR Horton where it's just kind of all houses and maybe a lake. You got everything that you want here. And so for those of you that want an entry-level price and a luxury big community feel, this is like the perfect style of a community for you. But now we are in front of the Gavin plan. We're going to go check that out, and we'll talk about some of the pros and cons of going into an inventory community like this, and we'll see what the pricing is once we come outside. Let me know what you think. Now, some of the pros. Knowing DR Horton like I know them, I've sold quite a few DR Hortons in my career. So I know that certain things like having a covered patio is a standard. One of the biggest pros with this kind of a product line when you're dealing with DR Horton, we'll head back in here because it's a little hot outside, is that what you see is what you get. And I really love that. Many times you'll go into a builder, even in an inventory only community, and you'll go into their model home and their model home is souped up to something that you as the end consumer won't get as an inventory product here. And in this community and all of the communities that I've recently been dealing with DR Horton, they're not doing anything crazy other than painting an accent wall. They're not adding different floors that you can't get. They're not adding different doors. They're not adding different light switches. They're not doing anything that won't come as an option in one of the inventory homes that they're building that you could potentially buy. And so the biggest pro is if you like these layouts, if you like the floors, if you like the countertop options, if you like the cabinetry, all of these are going to be standard in the product line here. So there will be no surprises. You're not going to go in and, like I say, see Formica countertops if the model home doesn't have that. You're not going to see sheet vinyl if they have luxury vinyl planks like they do in here. So all of the flooring, all the paint colors, all the cabinetry, all the countertops, all the appliances are going to be basically the same. Sorry about that, had to break for a call real quick. One of y'all from the YouTube channel hit me up. But as far as another pro is, this is for the person that doesn't maybe necessarily have all the money to go and do a full-on ground up build. You know that what you're seeing is what you're going to get, and you're not going to get that sticker shock where you pay for the lot and the layout plan as base model, and then you have to go and spend a bunch of money to upgrade it to look like the model. These homes are going to look almost identical to the model homes. You're going to occasionally get a different color, so you might have like a gray package versus this white and kind of brown cream. You might have a gray package, you might have a black package. But overall, as far as the size of the cabinets, the style of the cabinets, the overall feel and quality, whether it's granite or quartz, all of that's going to be the same throughout no matter what. And that's one of the really big pros for this style of product. Now, along the lines of a con for some of these inventory is because of the size footprint and the style of buyer and just the surveys that they've done over time, most of the entry level first time buyers, as they survey them and they kind of refresh their models and do all these things over time, they will ask these people, hey, do you really use a bath? Baths are typically for people that are kind of getting up in age like me, where you kind of like to soak from time to time. You like the option of having a bath, but for the younger crowds, they're going to be mostly showers. And so a lot of the inventory options here are going to have like an oversized shower and not necessarily a tub. However, DR Horton does have certain plans where they'll do kind of either or they'll have some plans that have both. It just depends on kind of what floor plan you're looking at. Some of the wider ones will give you more variety and more options. But one of the cons of going with this inventory only product is that many times people that want a tub in their primary bathroom aren't going to get it because on these narrower footprints, there's just not really enough room to put a tub and a nice size shower, and they often opt in for the oversized shower because most of the surveys that they take from their customers and it helps them kind of pick which plans they're going to bring to a neighborhood would say they want a super shower. And so that's why you would typically see no tubs in the primary. You are going to have some tubs throughout the home, but usually in your primary bath, you're not going to have a big tub or a big soaker tub. That's just not something that typically occurs. However, when you get to the 50-foot product, as we go kind of further down the model home road, you'll see that they have some options where you could fit a tub and a shower in there. And in fact, my client, I'm not gonna say your name, we just moved you out here. We're under contract over here in the area, and she did get an option that had a tub and a shower combo. So it can be done. It just depends on the footprint out here, but most of the entry-level products here are only gonna have an oversized shower in the primary bath. So yeah, last looks at the Gavin plan in here. I like that it is open concept, but has some interest to it. You kind of have this little hallway behind me, so it's not like many of these entry-level homes where you open the door and your square footage is all right in front of you. You kind of have some intrigue and some little corners that you got to get around, so it's not just like a shotgun feel. So I like that about this series out here in Tamarron as well for DR Horton, but let me know what you think. As far as pricing goes, these currently are listed somewhere around $320 to $330. We could probably, like I said, get you close to the upper twos with the relationship that I've built with Carl out here. But the only way that I can do that is if you hit me up, and I can kind of massage the numbers and pre-work with Carl on the way over here. I'll tell you about that client that I was just talking about, the deal that we got her. She is looking at a house that was around 384. And we got her under contract just based on the relationship and me having a pre-conversation about where she needed to be. We got her to like 369 for a house that was listed at like 384. So crazy numbers for sure. Ton of incentives. We'll get more into that as we check out the other houses, but loving what I'm seeing so far. How about you? As far as standard things that you get with the house, you're gonna get sprinklers front and back. You're gonna get sod front and back. You're gonna get the gated backyard. That's standard. Nothing too crazy with that. You're also going to get the thermostats and the keypads that can be controlled by your phone and all of those things. So standard smart features are something that you're not going to have to pay with. They're also going to give you a garage door opener. I know with some of the entry-level builders, when you kind of step down in a certain price point, they'll be pre-wired for your garage door opener, but it's something that you're going to have to pay for after the fact. DR Horton is not one of those builders. They're going to take care of that before you move in as well. But now we are at the Burnett plan. Same kind of drill. We're going to go in here, check out the layout, let me know what you think, and then we'll talk about pricing as we recap at the end. So again, these rooms are going to be standard. Flooring that you see, it's going to be standard. My client is getting this layout. She's getting this same exact flooring, same exact carpet. There's no surprises. Similar tile combination, no surprises. And so she was able to come in, see this property and say, man, I like that. I can paint these accent walls and kind of do what I need to do to class it up, step it up to a look of elegance like I want with my decor and with my painting, with little accent walls and trims and things that she can do. But the beauty of this is doors are going to be the same. You're going to get everything that you are seeing. Yeah, this one also comes with an office. If you didn't need it as an office, you can convert this into a bedroom because it came pre-did with a closet here. So this could technically be a 5-bedroom option if you didn't need the office, but gotta have an office. because this one is a little bit wider, we've entered into the 50-foot. You have enough width to give you a dining section that is not just in the middle of your living room space like the other one that we just witnessed. So in theory, that could be closed off. I wouldn't, because I think that would take up too much real estate if you close that off, but you do have enough space for a separate dining on this one. And then this is your kitchen. Quartz countertop, nice backsplash. Currently, as a part of their incentives right now, they are doing all appliances. Blinds were also included at this time. Sometimes they are, sometimes they're not. Yeah, another covered back patio. And this is a little bit of an oversized yard, but you would have a decent sized yard depending on which lot you picked. Yeah, before we checked out the primary, how this goes over here is they basically are building, as Carl told me when I was out here touring a couple days ago, they basically do 60 to 100 houses at a time. And so basically 3 to 5 of all of their plans that they are offering are going to be within a section, and they're going to be building it and doing it as they go, right? So there's going to be 5 Gavins, there's going to be 5 Burnett's, there's going to be 5 Lancasters basically going at all times. And so you get to go and pick from which one of those lots, color schemes, tub, shower options that you want, and you get to decide that that's the one that you want to go for. And they're at different price points depending on, you know, how big the yard is, location, if it's in a cul-de-sac, so on and so forth. But you get to decide. That is the decision that you make. Because this is an inventory home, you're not going to be able to say, hey, I want you to move a wall, I want you to put a tub, or do any of that. You don't have that option. You get to pick from what they are already making. But the goal is for them, when they are getting to a point where they're about to start selling in that section, is that pretty much all the people move into those houses at one time, so they can basically be done with that area, and there's no longer any major construction in there that could potentially get nails in your tires and have a lot of yard or have a lot of noise that would be distracting to those that have bought the home and are moving in. So they try to package it up like that, where there's 60 to 100 that they're going to finish at a time, and then they move on to the next section. But now let's get to the back and check out this 4th bedroom, and we'll let you know what you think. I think in this version they had the super shower, so you're not going to be able to see the tub shower combo in this one, but they do have it as an option. But let me know what you think. Super nice size. This is a king bed, tons of room on either side. Huge closet. And because this one has the width, you would probably, well, not a probably, and my clients, they like the tub stops here, and then the shower gets shrunk in a little bit, but you are able to get both of these in here on this size, because you just have the footprint to be able to do it on this size house. So depending on what you need, you would have a super shower option like this, where the shower is a little bit bigger, or you would have a tub combo on the side like that. But pretty nice, pretty nice. On this one, like I said, prices were ranging on this one from 365 for the smallest lots, all the way on up to 385, which is where my client was, and we were able to get them down to 369. And she was on the biggest lot that they had in the section that they are currently building this floor plan in. So we definitely can get you down on the price if that is what you need for something like this 50-foot product. So this is going to be every bit as wide as, if you've seen my home on my channel, this is as wide as our floor plan. This is a 50-foot product. You're going to have this size door and this little corridor off the door. Again, open concept, so it is open to the elements, but it is not straight off of the door, so you see all of your square footage, and kind of gives a little bit of intrigue and something to discover as you walk into the main space. So I like it. I think this would be, if I had to pick between this one and the last one, I think I would pick this one, because again, if you've been watching my channel long enough, the 50-foot product just kind of suits my eye a little bit more than most. It has a certain width and a certain feel to it, and I like how this feels. What do you think? All right, so we just left out of the Burnett plan. Again, my client is under contract with one of those, and I think that she's gonna love it when that thing is done here in a little bit. This is a test to see if you're still watching the videos per usual. Now we are standing in front of the Lancaster plan. Is one of the biggest plans that they offer here, right around 3,000 square feet. And this one, as it stands, is probably gonna be south of 500,000, which is crazy because that's damn near what we paid for 2,700 square feet in the Meridiana community. So definitely going to be at a lower price point for sure. But we got to talk about some things. Elephant in the room is DR Horton in certain areas has been kind of dinged for some quality issues, some walls falling in, things like that. Those kind of things that have happened because they are a national builder and they get a lot of builds all over the nation. They have a lot more opportunities to have some issues to go bad. Just the laws of probabilities. The one thing that I can say and that I can pride myself on is saying that I have sold probably about 20 or so DR Hortons at this point, and I have yet, knock on myself, have yet to have any major issues with any of my clients' homes. No one has called me and said my wall's falling in, my roof's caving in, any of that stuff. A lot of it is luck. A lot of it is more so the attention to detail that a project manager has and his staff has that are building your project. And I come from that world, and I know that a build, the plans should work. And the build is only going to be as successful as the project manager is detail oriented and making sure that his crew is doing exactly what they should be doing in that home. And so I've been fortunate and blessed enough to have sold some houses at a much higher price point, and I've had issues. I've had the ability to sell some DR Horton products that are at a lower price point, and I've had no issues. And so the cost of the home doesn't mean that you're not going to have issues. It is a man-made thing, but as long as you are doing what you need to do, which is in getting your own third-party inspection and making sure that you're there with the inspector when they're having those talks and those walks and looking at the things and just making sure all of your questions are answered before you close on that house, and if anything is caught, making sure that it is addressed, you should be good. I have personally never had any major issues with DR Horton. I know that that is not the case for everyone in the world. I have been lucky, but if you're working with me, you're probably going to use my guy Daniel, and I know that Daniel does a great job. He's inspected my home, and he does most of my clients' homes in Houston, and I know that he'll make sure that we're not overlooking anything on one of the biggest purchases of your life. With enough of that yapping, let's go and check out this Lancaster plan and let me know what you think. And just before we go in here and check out the Lancaster, I want to say that it is crazy that you've been watching this video for probably about 20 minutes now, and you still haven't called, texted, emailed, hit the comment section and said, hey Aaron, you're my favorite realtor, and when I'm ready to buy, whether it's in Tamarron or anywhere in the Houston metro, I'm going to hit you up and let you know that you're my guy and that you're going to be the resource for me. And the fact that you haven't done that is honestly breaking my heart. I'm going to give you a little second to do that. Come on now, I'm still waiting. I'll give you a second. But no, in all seriousness, this is the biggest purchase for most people's lives, and I want to make sure that you're not overpaying, and I want to make sure that, like my client here, that we get you the absolute best price, the best incentives, and everything that you deserve in this market. The only way I can do that is if you hit me up, or if you come out here and you see call and you say, hey, I'm working with Aaron. Aaron sent me this video and he's the reason I'm out here. If you put my info down, they can look me up in the system. And when the time comes to write that contract and when all the serious money is on the line, that's when I can step in at that point in time and represent you. In order for me to do that, you have to hit me up or you have to put my info down. All that will be in the description. But without further ado, let's hop back into the Lancaster plan. So a lot of the two-story builders that a lot of people love, that give you the two-story foyer. You just saw that you can get that with DR. When you step up a price point, you can get that. Just went to the office. Secondary little dining area over here. I've seen this as a closed-in wall. Sometimes they do it, sometimes they don't. The black package with the quartz countertop. Breakfast nooks, secondary kind of dining area over here. Back patio covered. Peekaboo with a natural light up high. A lot of your builders do that. So your Perry homes, your Highland homes, your Westons, a lot of these people do same thing. And look at that, old DR Horton can do it too. Like I said, this is going to be one of the biggest houses that you can get over here. So this is definitely for that person that's looking over in the area that wants Lamar Consolidated ISD, because that is who you're tied to out here. You've been looking in the area for a big home, and you see that the options that you have over here for a big house are going to basically be Cross Creek West. You're going to have Jordan Ranch. Both of those are going to be at a higher price point than this neighborhood. And so do you want to pay the premium to be in those neighborhoods versus getting a similar home or a home that's ready to go, kind of like this? That's the question that only you can answer. Do you want to have a more hands-on process where you're picking those things and maybe adding a slider at the design center or maybe picking out the specific floors? Only you can tell me whether or not that's worth it. But if you want something that is big and tied to that school system, we can do it. Showing it to you right now. We can do it. Again, on these, the models show just the shower, but I've seen these with the tub shower combo. Turn that off for them. One closet over here. Secondary closet over here. So yeah, as far as the spaces go, it's, oh, and I even missed this little bedroom. I was about to say, I thought I had another bedroom down here. So 2 beds down, office, 2 dining spaces, 2-story foyer, and a 2-story living room. That's about what I would say 75% of the people that reach out to me ask for in the Houston Metro when they're looking at a big 2-story home. This one has it, right? So again, I'm not here to paint you into any corner. I just want you to see that once you kind of step up in price point, you can get that with pretty much every builder here. It just depends on whether or not you want to pay the premium for a different builder or if you want to go the inventory route, whatever the case may be. Overlook to the front door. Game room area. A movie room. Now I have seen this one set up as a 5th bedroom up here. So depending on what they've picked, it'll either be like this or this would be a 5th bedroom up here. Just depends on what you want. But they typically do it like this as a media room because people that are looking for a house that's big typically want the bedroom and that secondary media room. One more peekaboo. So yeah, that is DR Horton's Lancaster plan. Like I said, that would be south of 500. Prices have gone up since the last time I toured this. When I last toured this earlier on in the year with my clients that were looking to move from the Northeast, this was like 470-ish. So it's crept up a little bit, but we could still probably keep you somewhere around that range if you were looking for something like this. So we touched on schools. That is going to be Lamar Consolidated ISD. That is one of the highest rated school districts in the Houston Metro. I know a lot of my clients that have already moved out to the Fulshear area that are in the Consolidated ISD, Lamar Consolidated ISD. They like it. They think that their schools, respective of their communities, they like what they are getting for education for their kiddos. Tax rate. Property tax out here is 2.85% before homestead. So after your homestead, you're going to be somewhere around that 2.5, 2.6 for a property tax. That is inner city Houston levels for a master plan community out in the burbs. Nice schools, nice amenities. We're going to actually go and check out some of these amenities here in a second. But that is what you get out here. So for the same price point, we were actually able to increase my client that I mentioned earlier, her buying power, because the property taxes here were lower than where we were looking originally in the Katy area. And this is kind of being known and dubbed as the new Katy. So you're 10 minutes from Katy, you're 10 minutes from the grocery stores and eateries, restaurants. Everything that you need is kind of off of this little Fulshear expansion off of the West Park Tollway. Just a lot of boom happening over here in this area. And the greatest incentive that we got right now is that DR Horton currently is offering 3.99% on their interest rates for specific products. And if you were to go conventional, I believe it's like 4.2 or 4.25, something like that. But still, that is incredibly low compared to what the market is right now. I just got somebody that was pre-approved and they were approved at like 6.5%. So what that would do to their buying power is unimaginable. So on top of having a lower entry price, on top of having a lower property tax rate, to have a 3.99 fixed 30-year mortgage product is going to drastically increase your approval rating out here and your buying power out in this community. But now, before we head out, let's go and check out the amenities just so you can see what you can get on this side of the world in Tamarron West. Again, you are a part of the original Tamarron East, which was in Katy, so you have access to both. But this is the new center that just opened up in your community in Tamarron West. So we're out here in front of the amenity center. Just wanted to pass by and show you what you can get. You got the walking trails and lakes throughout. You're gonna have little pocket park over here, and I'll be able to probably scan you a little view of what you can get of their event pavilion as well as their pool here in a second. So as we wrap up today's video in Tamarron West, with one of the lowest property taxes that you can get in all of Houston, with one of the lowest entry rate incentives that you can get in all of Houston, with some of the lowest prices that you can get in all of Houston for new construction, is it enough for you? We got great large scale amenities. We have shopping and groceries and restaurants within a few minutes of here. Everything that you need, large variety of footprints, large amount of inventory that's ready to go right now. Everything that you need is here, but is it enough to pass up some of the more well-known communities around the corner?